Democrats joins us. Hey, Representative Barton.
Good to be with you.
Now, I understand there are extra pages of this health care thing, and you want everybody to be able to see what you're voting on before a vote takes place in the House. Tell us about it.
The bill that they released last week, the 1,990-page four-ream monstrosity that's going to ream the American people, is not the final product. They will put out what's called a manager's amendment sometime in the next day or two if they intend to vote on it this week or this weekend, and that will be the final. And we don't know how big that manager's amendment's going to be, but if history's any indication, it probably will be anywhere from another 300 pages to as many as 800 or 900 pages. And that's, once they release that to the Rules Committee, then they'll report that bill to the floor with any amendments that are made in order, and that will be the bill that we vote on.
So how long will people have, do you think, I mean, I know you're just guessing, to take a look at what's in this addendum?
Well, I talked to the chairman of the Energy and Commerce Committee earlier today, Chairman Henry Waxman of California. His committee and that's my committee too. I'm the senior Republican, so we're the committee of primary jurisdiction. He told me that it was his intention and the Speaker's intention to give the American people 72 hours to look at the final product, so that's 3 days. So if it comes out tonight at midnight, then we could vote on it sometime Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. If it comes out tomorrow, then you just move the clock 3 days forward from whenever they release it to the Rules Committee, which has not happened yet.
Now, see, this frustrates me, I got to tell you, Representative Joe Barton, because the Republicans for a long time were cruising, and some of the Blue Dog Democrats, to have 72 hours to read this stuff, if they, to make it fair. And I'm shaking my head the whole time going, 72 hours? It took us almost 2 months to figure out what was in the last set of bills. Why would they limit themselves to a mere 72 hours?
Just be nice, be thankful that we're going to get 72 hours, because on the climate change bill, they put out the manager's amendment at midnight or 1 in the morning. We voted on it the next day. So at least this time around, I accept and I support what you're saying. Whatever we're going to vote on, it ought to be out there really for a week or 2 weeks to let everybody really dissect it. But at least we'll get 3 days, and that's why I think there's a good chance we may not vote on it until next week is a district work period. So it's possible that we could be on this thing like 2 or 3 weeks from now if we don't do it by Saturday, because they've also made a decision that we're not going to be here on Sunday. Mm-hmm. So we'll either have to vote on it Friday, which means the bill would have to be out today, Saturday if they put it out tonight by midnight, or if they go beyond tomorrow, Wednesday night at midnight, then it would be Monday. And if they go beyond that, then it'll be 2 weeks from now.
They're definitely going to drop this, though, right? So...
Well, that is a very good question, because I don't think they have the votes. It takes 218 votes in the House, and there are approximately 80 Democrats that have expressed some version of reservation from outright "we will never vote for it" to leaning to being undecided. That's a lot of votes to make up in 2 or 3 days on an issue that the American people are as focused on. Their bill is a bad bill. It has all these mandates in it, has an individual mandate, has an employee mandate. It's $1 trillion cost over 10 years, which is $100 billion a year. It would result in millions of Americans who have private health insurance through the workplace being dumped into the public option plan. And depending on their income status, then they would probably end up having to pay more out of pocket for the public option than they're paying out of pocket right now through premiums for their privately insured health plan through their employer. So there's just so much, illegal aliens are not prevented from getting benefits in this plan. Abortion services could be paid for by taxpayers under this plan. There's a Health Choices Administration that determines what's in the health plans of every American. There's a Health Benefits Advisory Commission that's going to dictate to the Health Choices Administration
certainly hope you're right. Let me ask you a question I've asked a lot of people I have never gotten an answer to.
Sure.
I just want to know. The public option, we're debating yes, no, maybe so for months here. Are people going to be forced into the public option, or can they choose it? Everybody talks about who has to go into the insurance pool, right?
Well, there'll be an individual mandate. So
yeah.
If you're over 26 years old and married or single, you're going to have insurance yourself, either through the workplace or you're going to have to buy it yourself. And you could look at the public option. Theoretically, you could look at the private insurance market, although quite frankly, when this is fully implemented, I don't think there'll be much of a private insurance market. It'll be pretty much gold-plated private insurance through the workplace and then the public option. There are 4 different versions of the public option. There's a low-cost option up to a high-cost option. But pretty much if you don't, and we think that millions will lose their private insurance through their workplace. My guess, and it is a guess, I'm not saying this is a fact, but my guess is within 10 years, 2/3 of Americans will have health insurance through the public option, maybe 3/4, and about 3/4 of all the cost of health care is going to be paid for by the taxpayer.
Well, see, that's interesting to me because the Congressional Budget Office, as you know, and this did not get a lot of attention in the media, but it was reported by the Associated Press, that the public option premiums were actually more expensive than the insurance company premiums. So that, to me, would say no one would choose it and that they'd have to force people in. But maybe that's what's in the 300 to 800 pages.
Well, we will see it when we will see it, and that's one of the reasons that they're having some immense trouble rounding up the votes. I will say that Congresswoman Sue Myrick, who I believe represents part of your listening audiences, she's on my committee, on the Energy and Commerce Committee, and she's been right on top of this too, trying to be a voice of common sense in the debate.
So let me ask you this too. You asked Committee Chairman Henry Waxman to convene a public hearing with key administration officials on Wednesday before the House votes, right?
Right.
Have you gotten a yes or a no answer?
Well, what we've gotten is silence, which is no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're just pretending you didn't even send that.
Well, they're aware that we've sent it. Chairman Waxman is busy negotiating the final version and trying to get his votes lined up. The last thing he wants, in all probability, is to have the Secretary of Health and Human Services and the Health Czar at the White House come up and explain a bill that's really not explainable.
Right.
So, we'll get an answer, but it probably won't be for a couple of weeks.
That's fair. Representative Joe Barton, thank you from Texas. Thank you for joining us on News Talk 1110 WBT.
It's always my pleasure.